I started listening to static for fun. Found this old ham radio at a thrift store, you know. It was still warm, like its last owner had just set it down. Most nights it was just fuzz, half-dead music, some military chatter I couldn't make any sense of, just the usual etheric noise. But then, one night at exactly 3 in the morning, a voice cut through. It was a voice made of numbers, and it was counting down. Even through the distortion, it was clear. 98, 97, 96. It was mechanical, steady, and sounded female, but with no accent, no pause for breath between the digits. I started writing them down in a notebook, just out of curiosity. I figured it was some old Cold War rebroadcast, maybe a weather relay stuck on a loop, a strange little quirk of the airwaves. The next night it started again, same time, 3 a.m., but from a different number. The night after that, another. It was always a countdown. By the 4th night, I noticed something else. The ending time was shifting too. The final number it spoke always matched the exact minute I had tuned in. At first, it just felt like a harmless late-night curiosity, a weird little secret between me and the static. Then I saw a headline online, 2-car collision 3:12 a.m. My blood ran cold. That was the number from the night before, 3:12, the exact minute the countdown had stopped. I went scrambling back through my notes, my hands shaking a little. Every single final digit, every single one, matched a local accident time. A fire alarm at a grocery store, a transformer outage that blacked out a whole block, a house fire just down the street. I told myself it was a coincidence. It had to be. How could it not be? But the list just kept growing, night after night. Another countdown, another local incident reported in the morning news, matching the time to the minute. Then, about 2 weeks in, the pattern changed again. The voice wasn't just speaking random digits anymore. It started reading what sounded like dates. Then, street intersections. And one night, without any warning at all, it said, my street name. Spoken in that same monotone with that same crackling hiss between the syllables. Then it said my birthday. I dropped my pen. The static suddenly surged, rising until it drowned out everything else. And through that wall of noise, a whisper that sounded eerily like my own voice, said just 2 words, 0 soon. I tried to ignore it. I mean, what else could I do? I unplugged the radio, shoved it in a closet, but the signal had found its way back. It came through the speakers of my computer, through the cheap clock radio on my nightstand, even through the speakers in my car. Always at 3 a.m., always counting down. That final night, I knew I couldn't run from it. I decided to record it. I set up my camera on a tripod, put a microphone right next to the receiver, and had my notebook ready. The dial light glowed a dull, sickly amber as the room filled with that steady mechanical voice. 3, 2, 1. And then, everything in the apartment just shut off. The lights, the router, the hum of the refrigerator. Complete, dead silence. The only thing I could see was the antenna outside my window, which was glowing with a faint, pulsing blue light. My neighbors later said they saw it flicker through their blinds. They thought lightning had hit the power line or something. When the power finally came back on a few minutes later, the radio's clock was blinking a perfect 0000. I checked the recorder. It had saved nothing but white noise, the exact same hiss as before the voice began, but it felt different. It sounded like it was reversed, like the sound was rising instead of falling. The morning news had a tiny segment about it. Unidentified shortwave broadcast, repeating a descending sequence detected across several counties. They said it had started again, back at 100, and no one, not a single expert, could trace where it was coming from. I turned the radio off for good after that, packed it away deep in the attic. But now every night at 3 a.m. the silence in my room feels different. It feels counted. Like there are numbers waiting just behind the walls, ticking down to something. Thank you for listening to my story. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more real eerie bites. Stay safe out there.